And hello and welcome back to the Crossfire Stars 2024 Philippines Regional Play-In. Ako nga pala Sneaky Frog, kasama ko si Josuave, back at it again with 3 best of 3s this time today. And it's gonna be a pretty exciting day, pare. We already had a pretty exciting day yesterday with the 2 best of 3s. We already know kung sino maglalaro dito sa lower bracket at sino maglalaro dito sa upper bracket. Ikaw man, how was the feelings yesterday, man? You know, it got a bit to process what happened yesterday. So, what's it feeling like, man?
And we got some real bangers out of this, and I'm really excited for what we're gonna get today, knowing that we're actually gonna get the switch ups now, right? Winners of the upper bracket, losers of the upper bracket as well. But of course, our schedule here today is the second day of play-ins. We got 2 weeks of the group stage happening next week, followed by, of course, our 2-day playoffs.
Damn, 2 days worth of playoffs. Of course, it's gonna be a long schedule, guys. Alam niyo na yung mga mapa. I don't think we need to mention too much about it. I am currently still in Eagle Eye 2.0. Di pa rin ako nakahanap ng, I don't know, LRT taxi out of here. So I'm gonna be stuck here for a bit, pare. Chilling in the new map. It's not too bad of weather today. It's actually pretty hot. It's actually pretty hot today, no? It's like 40 degrees-ish. So, perfect time, perfect day to have some Crossfire, of course. And the upper bracket final. Ito yung mga una nating matchup dito. Chulanga versus Vanguard. Vanguard vanquishing Execration yesterday with a 2-0 sweep. Chulanga having more of an intimate series kasama nila yung Herbie Gaming team dito, going all the way to 3 games. And then Port was one-sided at first. Herbie Gaming team tried to make a comeback. Eh, hindi nangyari yung comeback, unfortunately. So, maghaharap yung Execration at Herbie Gaming team dito sa lower bracket semifinals natin. Gonna be an interesting day. I think if Vanguard wins, they're already in yung regional finals natin. And whoever loses dito sa upper bracket finals is gonna have to play lower bracket finals and face against a Herbie Gaming team and Execration team, pare.
It's gonna be a really interesting one, knowing that we saw yesterday how CMG had to pick things up after a slow start in map number 1 to get that win, as opposed to how Vanguard they kind of hit the ground running, no, during that series yesterday. So we'll see if Chulanga is gonna have that same kind of start here, which I think would be a little bit of a problem, because if Chulanga can't get that running start, then it might be really hard to come back from the Vanguard that is consistent across maps. But of course, this is our schedule for today, starting with the upper bracket final, then the lower bracket semis, Execration versus HGT. Losers of the upper bracket will be going up against the lower bracket finalists that we're going to find out later on today. That will, of course, be decided by the next few matches we're going to be casting here. First 2 best of 3s.
Yeah, and those first 2 best of 3s are going to be very exciting, no? And by the way, guys, if anyone from the Execration and or the Execration and or the Herbie Gaming side does lose, that means they're out of contention para dito sa ating regional finals. But we're gonna go jump straight into the back, Pito, man. Hindi na tayo mag-aantay.
Oh!
We're here to play it immediately. Oh my God, why did they pick Ankara? Oh, okay. That's my inner analyst showing up. Okay, Chulanga picking Ankara. I mean, Chulanga picking Ankara, man. I like it. I mean, why not take it to the boxing ring where Vanguard is most comfortable at? Feeling ko, Chulanga, baka nag-practice sila, they watched yesterday's games and they're like, yeah, we could beat that. So, yun nga. Interesting para dito sa Vanguard. They do decide to go for the blacklist first. Obviously, they banned Compound yesterday. Ayaw nilang kalabanin itong Execration on Compound. I think they're really good on Compound and the system's really good on Compound para dito sa Execration. So, ngayon, hindi na nila iiwasan masyado. They're feeling a bit more confident. They're gonna pick it up for their map number 2. So, it's going to be a very interesting first 2 games natin dito, pare.
Yeah, and you can see with the map bans, right? Looks like at least yesterday, CMG did their homework and they saw that the Eagle Eye from Vanguard is something to be avoided, at least for now. Right, you can see it in the map bans, and we'll see how things play out once it does get finally into our first 3 maps of the day. But I think, CMG is really going to have to be hard-pressed to start it running. Right? I mean, yesterday they had a really hard time. They lost. They basically gave away half of that first map they had in that best of 3 yesterday. So I don't think they can do that same thing today, knowing that Vanguard, the way that they played yesterday, is a lot more consistent as compared to CMG as a at the base level, right? So they need to turn up here and they need to turn up now if they want to go straight into the group stage. Otherwise, well, they're gonna have to go down and battle it out with winner of HGT versus Execration.
Yeah, and yung nagustuhan ko nga dito, no, from the side of Vanguard that I mentioned yesterday is they kind of expanded their map pool. I think yung biggest problem nila coming out of Impact is their map pool can get easily exposed, but now they have Eagle Eye in the mix. They can play Ankara, they can play Black Widow, they can play Compound. I mean, this is a team that any map that's outside of Mexico definitely can be a very big threat on. I think sub-base could be arguable siguro. I think I would have wanted Chulanga to just take it to sub-base instead. I would have preferred it para sa kanila dito, no? Kasi it is a lot of a tighter map compared to Ankara here, of course. And yeah, we're gonna have a dead round lang, guys. Of course, VG is gonna start dito sa ating PL side. CMG is gonna start dito sa ating GR side. So yeah, gonna be a very interesting first two maps in all honesty. But yeah, I would have wanted the sub base a lot earlier, no? Dito sa Vito natin. I feel like yung mga Cebuano teams are really good at that map, man.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, maybe it's something that would have been more helpful for them if Subbase did come a little bit earlier. Knowing that it is the decider map, that becomes a problem because what if you don't even get there, right? You don't really get to use that
That's
playbook.
true.
Knowing that, again, Chalanga, they don't have that same consistency across the
Mm.
entire map pool that we have. And because of that, they really need to depend on the map bans to decide how the series is going to go. But here, map number one finally going to be underway.
Yeah. I mean, sub-base being the decider, it's not too bad. Pero gusto ko yung ginawa dito ng Vanguard, no? They actually targeted yung compound. And oh my god, I don't even get time to talk, man. They just ran it down mid. And patay na agad dito si Silent Child spotted dito sa Kuya Will. And not much you can do. That is just Vanguard round one strategy. We run it down mid at the speed of
Tetsu
light.
has
And Aiden.
1 HP.
God. He's gonna act like he has 100, pare. Silent
This
though.
guy does not care.
Yeah, he's like, guys, I have 1 HP. Buhay pa naman ako. I'm gonna peek it anyways.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, that is something that you need to respect out of Tetsu. We've been seeing it time and time again. Yesterday, where regardless of whether or not he has to sacrifice his life, he will try to get that opening pick. And as you can see, right, the first 4 kills going to Aiden on the back of the support from Fallex, CLD, and Tetsu as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first round from Vanguard is a fast one, and we've seen this before.
Yeah. I mean, that's the most classic round one strategy galing dito sa Vanguard. I think that's like testing the waters kung anong kaya nilang gawin dito. And they're gonna do it again! They are gonna do it at the exact same time, but I think CMG has the handle of things, and VG is probably like, alright, let's stop trolling. Tetsu, last one left alive. Let's see. He's had a fair share of clutch attempts yesterday. Pero ngayon, AWM in his hands. Said is gonna spot him out dito sa hotel. He's gonna check in. And 1-1, CMG catch the train just in time, pare.
Yeah. Okay, then. That's a good start to CMG getting that first round early in the half. Hopefully they can convert more rounds here to kind of shift things in their favor for once. Now, there you go. EV taking down CLD early in the round. First blood falling in the favor of the Cebuanos this time, but we'll see. Because look at this setup right now. That's 4 people set up towards B, and the C4 is actually slowly making its way towards A. Where you can see people getting pulled over towards the other side of the map. But I don't think they're expecting this. Ajax already there, but now Tetsu and Aiden able to get a couple of kills down there, make things a little bit more equal.
little fake step.
Easier, possibly, later on. But here, Tetsu waiting for that rotation. And with Charles, right in the face, man. Chrome to the dome right there. Aiden already at 40 HP. No chance to plant just yet. I think he's trying to find the timing off of the rotations here. Out of there,
Yeah.
searching for him. Whoops.
Oops. All right. I mean, if it's anyone to do it, it's a guy that is 6-0, 6-1 at the moment dito sa game natin.
Yep.
It's pretty hard clutch though, man. I mean, he's have to find his head. He's been hitting some shots dito sa mapa natin. EV is still alive. He's 5 frags ahead of, or 3 frags ahead of his teammates. Pero meron tao sa likod niya. Oh, someone's in bypass, my friend. You're about to
Oh
die.
boy.
Goodbye, Aiden. Yun lang. Charles,
And
oh, okay. I like this galing kay Charles, man. I think he didn't play too well yesterday. But if it's any time to redeem yourself, pare, now is the time to do it.
yeah, we're gonna see whether or not he can keep this momentum up, right? Because the thing about CMG yesterday, they're very momentum based, and once things start slipping out of their grip, it gets really hard for them to actually get back into that same rhythm. Here, Aiden, pushing it up, trying to
He's
see
gonna
if he
check
can
this.
find anyone. Said to be around the corner, gets checked.
Mhm.
Yes, the headshot to take him down. Now, some numbers in favor of Vanguard, at least for now. And CMG, on the back of that little lurk we saw out of him, there's 3 people stacked up on B with only 1 man, Silent, trying to do multiple frags here, not unable to get more than 1. But it's still going to be in favor of Vanguard here. That should be signaling the rotation out of CMG. And Vanguard, they're playing the map.
For sure. X3D silent already down. EV spotting out si Tetsu dito. And I like that. Galing sa side ng Vanguard, no? I feel like CMG, they're kind of a buggy team. And, you can kind of bait out some of these pushes galing sa kanila dito. But I can't blame itong CMG, no, for going a bit aggressive kasi kagaya nga na sinabi ko kahapon, you cannot be passive 24/7, especially against Vanguard, pare. So, kailangan mo talagang labanan ng kanilang pacing dito. And now it is 2-2. Could be another back and forth game, no?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised actually, because it looks like CMG they woke up on the right side of the bed today, got some early rounds, which is much more than they did in the first map yesterday. It looks like they are warmed up at this time around. We'll see whether they can weather the storm that is Vanguard. They do have several different looks in how they play that game. So the adaptations are gonna have to come in quickly for CMG, knowing that yesterday again a little bit slow on the pickup, but they did win eventually. So a little bit of a story of comparison between these 2 teams when it comes to the adaptations. Now Folex is not dead. Actually, he only has 1 HP still, but that's a lot of damage done onto Ajax on the other side as well.
Yeah, and that's the one guy na gusto mong targetin, no? Dito sa side ng CMG. Ajax, to be specific, man. You do not want this man to warm up after yesterday's games.
Oh man.
So, ayun nga, they want to keep him cold. They want to keep him in the ice path, pare. So, titignan pa natin kung lalabas pa talaga ng mid dito ang Vanguard. Standard 2-1-2 defense galing sa side ng CMG. Silent is just spotting out dito sa may RS side natin through the window so he can also guard a second mid at the same time. Problem is, if anyone dies, to be specific, if Zed dies, this is gonna be bad news kasi open na yung B-side dito. Pero naka-rotate na si Silent. There's also a guy in hotel but he gets knocked out.
Wait,
Tetsu going brazy. 3K agad.
That is insane, I tell you. Every time we catch him, it's usually going to be multi-kills. And I think CMG, right? We talked about how Zed, X3D, has been able to convert some rounds on the back of his lurks, right? But the problem is, and this has happened yesterday, when X3D does get caught, it immediately ruins the round for CMG. So we're going to see whether or not that's going to be the same story today, or if they're going to be able to kind of plug up that hole in their defense.
Yeah, and this is what I like galing sa side nga ng Vanguard. Despite them playing fast in a very erratic pace, they still know what they're doing. No? There's still a system in place para sa side ng Vanguard dito. You're gonna see a 4-man push sa mid, but they're still clearing everything, making sure that yung catwalk A is cleared, making sure that high mid is cleared, and there's also a guy that is gonna be late pushing to punish just in case na merong flank na mangyayari dito because they're very aware of what Zed is doing, right? Alam naman na ginawa ni Zed kahapon dun sa sub base with his lurks, so I think Vanguard is actively trying to punish it and at the same time try to catch yung defense nila off guard. But to be fair, I mean, Tetsu getting a 3K with an M4 sa B-side, you don't really expect that, pare, especially coming in from the sniper. And I can already imagine yung comms nila dito. They're like, oh, I didn't hit my first shot sa AWM. Give me the M4. Ako na. Let me do it.
Sorry, I'll do better. And he does, right? The round after. But yeah, it's a pretty equal start between these 2 teams. So now we're going to go back into it after a little bit of a pause. You got 3-2. Vanguard in the lead para sa mga kakarating lang. Yes, it's Vanguard versus ChullangaMG Gaming right now.
Mhm.
And we've gotten quite a few different looks out of VG here. Slow, fast, and the hyper rotations being pulled out from CMG. That's gonna be the first
Mhm.
skill though coming in from Ajax, and we talked about this earlier. Ajax, when he is awake, he becomes a force to be reckoned with. So Vanguard have to be careful about that. Unfortunately, Aiden did not get word of that
Oh
warning.
my
What in the world was that?
god.
Tetsu, by God, you're a madman.
That's an inhuman pre-aim, para. You don't really pre-aim that specific spot. But I think he knew na Ajax was gonna try to play a little off-angle dito sa may Ares natin.
You had a
That was
feeling.
insane, man.
Now though, you got a 4v4. And Vanguard again, yeah, despite the fact that they are a chaotic team, there is still some order within that chaos, right? They do their due diligence, check the corners that they have to, and make sure that they can actually take a proper look at the off angles that might be held onto, and that's gonna be
What?
Kids opening it up over onto
What?
Charles here, trying to hold it on, and CLD takes down Silent as well. 2v4. That's gonna be the sight on the wraps for Vanguard. I don't know how CMG is gonna do this, but you're gonna have to get one each, and that's gonna be unfortunate. It's only gonna be said who walks into a three-man stack, all watching him.
Yeah, and ito rin yung sinabi ko on my stream yesterday, Josh, na we have gotten to a point sa Crossfire where yung spray control ng mga players have gotten so good that they can just start spraying and turn the corner and still keep spraying, tapos headshot pa rin yun. So that's why trading is really hard in this game, man. Kasi you have to time yung swing mo properly, or you're gonna have to count how many bullets the guy shot on the other side of the angle, and hopefully pag swing mo, wala nang bala yung kalaban and he's mid-reload by the time you swing around the corner. So it's just insane. The mechanics dito ng BG. To be fair, they're the most mechanically gifted team dito sa play-ins when it comes to that aim.
Yeah.
But CMG, man, they got some brains. They got some heavy hitters dito sa kanilang squad as well. I mean, Ajax has already gotten his first frag in the match. And still, if CMG can do the exact same thing na ginawa ng Execration kahapon, no, which is kind of forcing Vanguard to play at their pace instead of them playing at Vanguard's pace, then they can definitely do some damage. But Ajax, he misses the shot. B-side could be wide open, pero makakareact ba yung mga hotel players dito?
Flash out.
Mukhang hindi.
Yeah.
Why is he still there?
Way too many bodies on the other side of that flash here. Ajax was not given the opportunity to respond back, and now C4 is gonna be down. The post plan for Vanguard is a very effective one. And yeah, despite the fact that there's still quite a lot of manpower on the side of CMG, it's gonna be hard pressed for them because look at that. Polex intends to take down one each, and Charles gonna take things into his own hands. 3 kills now on the board for the entirety of CMG. But that's gonna be it. The retake works out this time.
Yeah, and playing super aggressive, like you're thinking you're gonna win every single fight, is a double-edged sword para dito sa
It
Vanguard.
is.
No? And it kind of showed dun sa, dun sa retake. Everyone just peaked where they should have not really peaked. They di nila tinake na slow yung baka fights dito. Instead, they went for the straight-up full fights, and unfortunately, they do lose. And you don't want to take up those straight-up 4v4 fights aside, especially, no? And especially what we saw yesterday, nung kalaban nila yung Herbie Gaming team, I mean, CMG, they welcome yung mga fights na ganun where it's straight up suntukan talaga dito sa mga sites natin. And it's not gonna be a good look para sa kanila dito if they keep on going. Tetsu already down at the start of the round. Silent tagged up a lot. But VG in a 4v5, it's still pretty winnable dito sa round natin if they do get a good entry on one side of the map and they take out yung 2 players and force a retake galing sa side ng CMG dito.
Yeah, the thing about this is, right, we've seen quite a lot of times that Vanguard are able to force rotations out of CMG off of a singular point of contact. And because of that, I don't know if it's because CMG may be overthinking how Vanguard is playing this, but knowing that there is, right now, a manpower advantage for them, this should make things a little bit easier, a little harder for Vanguard's side to beat out those bad timed rotations. Now, Kids, 1 kill over onto Charles here, trying to make the entry. Does get the second one, and that's going to be clearing out B-set. But I don't think they know that there's one man here. Never mind, they do check him out. CLD able to take him down, and Silent gone as well. Ajax, what do you do here?
Not much. That is for
Not
sure.
much, man.
I mean, yun nga, no, that's part of the VG role, and you're just gonna have to take it 2-point lead para sa side ng Vanguard, 5 and 3. Opportunity para sa CMG to get this last point, and they have to. Being down 6 and 3, especially papunta na kayo dito sa GR side on Ankara, doesn't really feel good at all. So, titignan pa natin what is the reaction from the side of CMG. I would have wished na I would see a lot more aggression galing sa kanila dito kagaya na nakita natin kay Zed kanina, but they're so worried about yung default talaga dito ng VG of everyone just rolling on mid, tapos may E1 dito sa kanilang base, and not much you can do. They have respawn control, and nandito na sila sa B side. Zed is dead. And anong gagawin nyo? The plant is already down. Wala, 1 minute and 53 on the clock, man. That's the pacing.
How fast it was, man. What do you even do? Eevee tried to rotate away. There were just way too many people on the map. I don't know how or why, right? But I don't know if you saw. But after that first kill, when they went in for B, Mr. Eevee had no idea that there were just 3 bodies on one side, 1 body on the other. Where do you even look when Vanguard moves that fast on the map?
That's true. And yun nga yung sinasabi ko, di ba? Yung default ng Vanguard is there's a 3-man death ball going at you at lightning speed, pero hindi mo sila ma-flank unless you play it really smart. Kasi alam mo naman nandun ba si Aiden sa likod. Alam mo naman na meron pang, still have to worry about CLD on their backside. So, there is this train that you have to stop, and then meron pa silang 2 minions sa likod that will try to fight you off of it, no? So, it's pretty tough at the moment para dito sa side ng CMG. And I like na they're playing slightly disrespectful, kind of punishing itong CMG for not really forcing their own pace dito sa Vanguard kasi how can you do it, man? You're not winning any fights at all whatsoever dito sa mapa natin. And that is why I was worried dito sa CMG that they picked itong Ankara as this map. Granted, you guys can research very heavily against itong Vanguard, but problem is, can you hit the shots on the day?
Yeah. That's the thing, right? You can counter strat Vanguard, but you need to be able to hit the shots against these guys. The problem is Vanguard, the pace at which they're moving, right? It's just way too fast for some teams.
I'm telling you, man,
seems to
psycho
me
nga
that
sila.
like CMG needs to somehow speed it up or force them to again. You said this quite a lot of times today and yesterday. Vanguard needs to be forced out of their comfort zone, and if you give it to them, if you give them too much respect, then things go sideways and they go sideways fast. But now 3 to 6 here. Tetsu, oh my god. Again, to start a double kill even with the pistols. Going for a third as well. Finds Zed over in the middle. It's going to be a couple of answers. A double sniper from CMG answering back.
Yeah, and this is fine, I think, para sa Vanguard. They're still going to put 2 people sa A site. I think there's still B site that is in danger at the moment. But still a lot of hesitation galing sa side ng CMG dito, no? There's still a minute on the clock, and they're kind of expecting that there is a flank ongoing. Papunta nga sa side ng Vanguard, but with CLD already dead, so they already know that hotel defense is a bit weak para sa side ng Vanguard. So they might try to target itong B site. Problem is, the man watching it is Folex. So you don't know where he is at all times exactly. And that's a very dangerous thought para sa side ng CMG. If you don't know where Folex is, might end up with a bullet in your head, pare. Especially with how this kid plays.
Folex is, right? I mean, this guy used to be the main entry. Now he's playing more of a support role. And knowing that this guy, he is a shooter, right? He can hit those shots. Even if he's not on the entry, you should be very afraid. But now Charles does find Aiden. There should be able to put A site on the wraps. But the problem is, Kids is right across the fence. Should be able to see something, but he does get flashed out. Spray not gonna connect onto anything just yet. But Folex, oh no, here he goes. He finds it on the other side, equalizes the numbers. Now, counting down to seconds. Charles, the high-low setup coming in from CMG, trying to hold off that bomb. Folex has man standing only at about 5 HP. He's gonna have to change his approach here. But there's just so much suppressive utility being thrown out his way. Ajax taken down. It's down to a 1v1. And Folex, he's so low. You have to check every corner, and he cannot. There's way too many corners to cover. That's going to be the point for CMG.
Yeah, I like that. Galing sa side ng CMG, no? Despite it becoming a 3v3, they still played at their own pace dito sa laruan natin. And they kind of caught itong si Aiden being busy with 2 angles at the same time habang nagre-risk yung mga ibang players for information in the B and the mid side. And that's the right timing that you have to play. You know, you have to catch Vanguard at your own timing. And that they did. Nakuha nila A side just like that. And what is going to be the reaction para dito sa side ng Vanguard? Now they're gonna slightly focus more on the ace side, but that's a good pick off galing kay Silent.
Ooh.
That's gonna keep mid open, and ibig sabihin yan, Vanguard's gonna play a bit risky, man. Either they're gonna place only one player dito sa A, or it's only gonna be two. So CMG playing the numbers game really well. And pag nag-setup na sila dito sa A side, and they got Aiden, I think it's pretty much theirs, man.
Yeah. Should be a pretty good round, unless CMG do get caught off guard here by Tetsu. And yeah, I like still that they're kind of forced out rotations, right? Something that Vanguard didn't really have to do, but playing around the map, CMG, they're very smart about this, right? That they're trying to force rotations, and off of that converts that map control off of those encounters. And now Silent, he does find CLG, but now Tetsu going to be answering back over on the Silent here. And the hold it, Fall X inside of the site, right behind the boxes. Waiting for the opportune moment to peek out, but Ajax does take down Tetsu. Fall X answering back, 2 kills for him, but right from behind he gets stabbed. Charles takes him down. It's Aiden now in a 1v2 playing around. He cannot find it to no avail. Another round for CMG.
Yeah, and I like this. Galing sa side ng CMG once again. Charles with a huge round. I mean, this is night and day kumpara sa nakita natin kahapon from Charles especially. And this is what CMG needs, man. You need most of your players online, and Ajax and Zed are gonna go with the sniper, and that's not usually the peak that you expect kung ikaw si Ajax dito.
No
you don't
way.
expect 3 people to peak market. And that's a good first pick off. This is great para sa Vanguard. They always look for that first blood, and now they're gonna spread across the map. Problem is, A site is a bit dangerous. Tetsu, though, playing a dangerous game as well.
Yeah, well, we saw this same thing, right? VG, when they want to play aggressive, they will. And when they do, and when they're able to convert that first skill, it does usually shift everything towards their direction, makes things a little bit easier. But now they do have only one round of a lead up against CMG, so they have to be very careful here, knowing that they did take that first skill, go back, regroup, take your positions again, knowing that take comfort in the fact that CMG, they're down a man. But here, entry coming in from Charles takes down Aiden. Now, top of sight, AV takes down Tetsu. CLD surrounded. Too many people on the other side. Too many people. Now, that's going to be the bomb down for V2 on the retake here. Follex and Kids going to have the work cut out for them, but they do have quite a few utilities here. Made out. Not going to be able to connect here. The peek out from Follex. Waiting for the right time, but CMG, they're playing so far back.
Yeah, this is not gonna happen para dito sa Vanguard, and this is nice para sa side ng Chulanga. I mean, once again, Vanguard got the first pick, pero alam nila na may heavy presence dito sa B side ng mapa natin. So instead, they just target A. Tetsu trying to make the check and trying to kind of scare itong CMG from executing dito sa A side. And I think VG kind of played too heavy in the raid, pero Ajax namatay na naman. He had the M4 that time. Aiden, what a shot dun kay Silent. Holy moly, they were like, we're not gonna wait anymore, man. We're gonna fight you face to face.
That's again, Vanguard taking matters into their own hands, dictating the pace here. Tetsu is aware that there's quite a lot of people coming his way, so he's gonna be playing Mamba out for now. CMG. They've slowed down, but now the problem is, if you look around the map, there's quite a lot of ways that Vanguard can skin the cat right now. They're getting surrounded. Aiden on the backside takes down Charles, and now the 2 members left on CMG. They are essentially surrounded. Might as well put their hands up. The C4 down on the floor. Tetsu sees it. EV gone, and now what even do said, can you do it? 1v5? No, there's too many people tried to do the impossible and fell flat.
Grabe, 7 and 6. Vanguard with quite the response on that round, face-to-face in danger, just like how they like it. CMG just expecting na magkakaroon ng first pick itong Vanguard in one side of the map, and then they could just react on the other side. But no, everyone went aggressive at the same time. CMG backed off sa mid, they pushed up LA, and they know na wala ng tao dito sa A side, so they can just straight up focus on the full clamp dito sa opensa ng CMG. And Follex all the way dito sa hukay natin. And what are they gonna do? What is gonna be the strat here for the side of VG? They're just gonna take Catwalk A control. Tamang flash lang dito sa may boxes, but I think everyone is hidden just in time, man.
Yeah. lots of utility being thrown out here, and unfortunately for CMG, it's not really connecting or even eliciting any kind of response for the side of Vanguard. And that's it. Vanguard again, they've changed things up. After playing at a breakneck pace, they speed things up again, and Tetsu, on the back of a lull in the round, is able to take down Charles first, who has been the essentially the top fragger now in the second half. Now they're trying to explore the map, make their way towards B, where unfortunately there's already two people here. Tetsu, aware of the risk that there may be quite a lot of people coming their way, playing on the high-low.
Yeah, and CMG, I like it. Slow down the pace. Have to be careful dito sa presence ni CLD though. Silent coming in from the hotel side. It's a two-prong attack pero mag-isa lang si Silent dito sa likod. Tetsu with a nice shot.
That's it. CLD not gonna be out. Silent answering back, and look at that, the double kill coming in from this guy. Looking for a third here, trying to hold it off, but no, not gonna work out. There's just way too many people on the side here for him to take down single-handedly.
Yep. And it's only been 29 minutes, guys, since the start of this game. Technically, 20 lang. So, it's a pretty fast game. I think the timer has barely ticked 1 minute in a few rounds, pare. It's more like 1 minute and 30 tapos na yung round natin dito. But we're gonna have to wait and see. Vanguard deciding not to play too frisky this time. Actually, papabayaan nila yung hotel for now, which is good on some rounds. If you do have a heavy read, napupunta sila dito sa A site. However, it does leave the opportunity para sa side ng CMG to go for a two-prong attack dito sa B site. Even a three-prong attack if pinabayaan nila yung mid dito. But I think CLD is just kind of rolling around just in case na it is going to be any mid push from the side of CMG. But they're just going to place a player inside of hotel for now. One night stay. So, let's see what's going to happen.
Free coupon. Olex, wow. Great timing, but not going to be able to connect that shot over onto Silent. So that's going to be first conversion for CMG here. Now, map should be opening up a little bit for them. You can see actually that they're willing to risk a little bit more presence inside a hotel, but they're still staying on this default a little bit longer. Now CMG not ready to fully commit just yet, but now you can see the rotations coming in. B side seems to be the target right now, and Vanguard none the wiser as to what the plan is.
Yeah. Aiden trying to get some mid control, so I think if they do get mid, and they somehow kill si Ajax dito, then they're gonna do a full tap. But Ajax too fast, too quick on the sniper. And 3 versus 5 at the start of the round. It's looking like a disaster para sa side ng Vanguard, and B side is taken. Tetsu though, trying to redeem it, man.
Yep. One man down on the side of the CMG, and Tetsu makes things a little bit easier knowing that there's one less man to worry about, but now the retake's gonna have to come
Silent,
in, coming in from behind. CLD again with the timing. Takes down Silent on the other side, and now 3v3. 28 seconds left on the clock here, but EV does take down Tetsu eventually. And now we're equal once again. CLD answering back. It's gonna be a two-man push over onto the side. EV hiding behind the boxes, trying to find it out. Bomb fake on the defuse here. Cannot connect, and Ajax and EV clean it up.
Very, very nice from the side of CMG. Good recognition. Clear na dito yung hotel as VG was trying to go for something risky sa A site. And VG, how are you going to answer in this round? Bit of second mid control para ma-block itong market player natin. And the last time that Ajax did peek this exact position, he got insta-murked by the M4. Pero titignan natin. Oh, Vanguard wanting to fight dito sa long A, and CMG's not going to welcome it, man. They're just going to back off.
Yeah. A little bit of respect coming from CMG. Now a plate of kills for both sides. And nades coming out on the back of that because CMG, they want to be careful. There might be 3 people pushing up their way because Vanguard have done it quite a lot of times.
Everyone's gonna chill for now. Hindi naman masyadong kailangan madaliin yung game natin dito. That's the exact pace you want to play kung kayo yung CMG. You want to play into the minds of Vanguard. Because Vanguard, they love to play fast. So if you start slowing down the pace, just like Execution did yesterday, they got a fair share a few rounds. Unless, unless Kid somehow, once again, just pushes through the smoke and no one notices. Good result in a 4K. But it's a very nice calm round using the timer, man.
Yeah, it's a welcome change from CMG. I mean, they've been playing into the hands of Vanguard for quite a long time, but now it looks like the recovery is finally coming in. But the problem now happens, right? There's only a minute left here. They're gonna have to check out Aiden, who
They
sprays
didn't
that
check
onto
him.
two. My God, not expected there. Played a little bit too far back, lost that map control, and now there's only two people left. 40 seconds on the clock and counting. CMG time pressure is going to be on to them, but now Vanguard, they have all the information. Rotations coming in as well. We'll see whether or not this is going to work out for CMG, because if they can get the timing right, CLD might not be able to find that backstab. But kids, first point of contact, misses that shot, but is going to be able to force them to try and get in. Only quite a few seconds left in that round. Said on the way inside, takes down two. CLD being from behind.
C4,
He's
man.
super low though. Said he doesn't have much time, and the C4's not in his hands. Tried to hold on to it, tried to take it back, but he gets sprayed right through that smoke. CLD coming in clutch.
Very well played. Kalinka CLD in that 2v2. I mean, 3v2 rather. And yeah, both players went down on the A side, but he got the player with the C4 bago pa siya makapasok ng EA, and he just went inside of the smoke, fully knowing that the other man is gonna rotate through that vent side. Tried to recheck everything, pero nakatingin na nga dito si Jamero sa C4 natin. 9-7, Ajax punishing. Di makalis si Ajax, man. He needs some help.
Hey, he's gonna be stuck in a corner for a long while here, but the smokes do come out. Should make things a little bit less claustrophobic for this man. Now Charles on the way outside, almost catches Tetsu. He does get hurt though. Down to 10 HP. Tetsu swinging out, takes him down. Now equalizing the numbers, but there's a lot of damage done over onto the Vanguard players. Silent. And find a way out, trying to find some sort of opening in the defense that it is. But CLD, too quick on the movement. Now Flash is out. Utility used up, but now Zed takes down Tetsu.
Yeah, Tetsu's already gone. Okay, 3v4. And alam mo na, mukha yung CMG dito. Once VG is at a man disadvantage, they're gonna start to slow down the round. And this is the place that they don't like to play. CLD, getting a bit frisky. Gamit yung kanyang M4 dito, but they're gonna try to hunt him down dito sa may respawn side natin. Pero nakalabas na siya just in time. Two-man spray galing kay CLD. Jamero's going crazy. 2 versus 2. Aiden and kids left. Ajax and Evie, the last two players left alive.
But the plant has been coming on through. Let's see if kids can get the timing here. Evie is unfortunately alone on the side, so it's gonna have to get the right timing now. Trade of kills. Aiden super low. Both of them bleeding out slowly, but there's only 20 seconds left on the clock. Evie's gonna have to play this time, and it's so close. Aiden, play around the boxes movement, not gonna be good enough for him. CMG, keep it close, not over yet.
Yeah, very well played. Kaling dito kay Evie. Rather would take yung tunnel fight. Rather would have Aiden peeking into you instead of you peeking into him. Very chaotic round, pero CMG nahanap pa rin nila yung 1v1 dun. 9-8. Vanguard so far, still on match point, pero CMG nakakahabol. And once again, slowing down the pace, pero Vanguard's kind of welcoming it, man. Hindi na nila ginagawa yung kanilang ginagawa dito at the start of the round, which is desperately look for a first pick. But now, everyone's calmed down. Sabi nila, let's hold for now, man. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, they're one round away. Might as well change it up, right? Nothing wrong with that. And we've brought ourselves into a timeline wherein it's total quiet across the entire map, right? Because CMG, they're wary of Vanguard, but Vanguard, they're not doing that same thing. So it's running down the clock for CMG. So at some point, they're going to have to start exploring that map because they're playing so far behind. And we've seen it quite a lot, right? Wherein CMG, because they play so slow, they're giving the opportunity for players like CLD, like Aiden, to get themselves and insert themselves into angles that are usually not checked on the way inside. And that's kind of what shifted some of these rounds in their favor. Luckily for them, it's not happening. But now they're going to have to do their due diligence after having been punished for that same problem. As you can see, Silent, of course, have to check every corner because Aiden or CLD might show up at any time.
Yeah, scary times para dito sa CMG. And is this going to be a B-side push? Yes, it is. So they're going to have to be careful. I think what Vanguard is trying to do here is, yeah, we might give this B-side just in case it is B-side, pero hindi natin pwede ibigay yung second mid control kasi that is another way that they can get inside of B other than from the spawn side. And 30 seconds left, not much time. Para sa side ng CMG para makapasok dito. Smokes are gonna go down and no one is gonna see anything. Fallex with a super
Tetsu.
late flank. How does Tetsu hit that? And they kind of know na si Zed is gonna go from behind. Ajax nahuli na nga dito sa
What?
uluhan. And ito na nga yung sinasabi ko. Kailangan nyo kumuha ng second mid control in order to get hotel, in order to have 2 points of entry. Papasok dito sa B side. Silent playing the box. Alam niya nga na meron tao sa kabilang side. Silent gets checked by Fallex and EV probably is gonna go down. And here comes the rest of Vanguard. Si Charles na lang natitira. And that is the defuse. Vanguard going back to their passive ways. And it's very, di ko naman masasabi deja vu, no? It's very similar to yesterday nung naglaro sila ng Ankara where they lost their first man pero hindi nila mawawalan yung control ng second mid. Just like how I said it, man. If you have second mid, you have hotel, and you have the other side of the map. So that means there's two points of entry na kailangan mo isipin kung kayo yung nagde-defend sa site. And very well executed galing sa side of Vanguard. They trolled a lot of rounds though, man. I mean, classic Ankara galing sa kanila.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of saw something like yesterday, right? We're in nice and hot. They were stuck on what, 8 rounds for the longest time, and eventually they did convert it. But things start to ruin the mental when they do happen a lot. So I don't know if it's on purpose, right? Maybe chill out a little bit. But hopefully for Vanguard that it's still gonna be that same kind of consistency moving into map number 2. But for ChullangaMG Gaming, they need to come back from this. They had it's kind of the same thing as yesterday, right? A slow start and not as bad, but they did keep that first map really close. So I see potential in that second map in the series.
Yeah, for sure. I think Compound is the perfect map to kind of freeze itong Vanguard squad natin. I feel like they picked it because of yesterday's games. I know there's a lot of history between yung Vanguard and yung HGT, them facing in the finals, and HGT kind of playing them a lot dun sa mga scrims, no? So, I wouldn't call them scrims. Let's call them bet game na lang, man. They play each other a lot in money games, pare. So I think, might have picked up our thing or two galing dito sa HGT, which in my opinion, they're the best compound team going out of Impact and even in this play-in. So, I think dahil nga natalo yung CMG dun sa mapa na yun to Herbie Gaming team, they're gonna try to specifically target etong compound and try and see if they can sweep this 2-0. And what's scary is, para sa side ng CMG dito is, since we are looking at Vanguard that is playing at this space, how are they gonna keep container mid control? Pag nakuha nila yung container mid control, that's only step 1. You still have to worry about lower B. You still have to worry about itong long A natin. And yeah, they have to have every single hole sa kanilang defense covered. Kasi yeah, once a Vanguard discovers a hole in your defense, man, they're gonna go straight through it, pare.
Yeah, we've seen it quite a lot, right? Where say CLD comes in with a good timing, or it comes from Aiden pushing on forward, finding an off angle to punish wherever you're playing, right? And because of that, Vanguard, they're really the sort of team that you need to do some extra research on, right? Not just how they play around the map and what the default is, but if you want to win against this team, then you need to be able to be familiar with several different looks, right? The kinds of timings they take once it looks different, because it's usually, say, for example, how that push out through Vent, the double team from Kids and Fallex quite a few times, and Tetsu again on the early peek outs with the sniper. So depending on what the flowchart looks like, so to speak, for Vanguard, I think that's the best way to really react to how this team plays.
Yeah, for sure. I think Vanguard, no, despite kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, despite all the pacing, all the chaotic rounds na nanggagaling sa kanila dito, I think there is a system within that pare. Just like how I said it, there's 3 dudes that's gonna run at you at lightning speed. There's gonna be 2 guys watching the flank, and it's kind of hard to counter it, no? Especially pag meron na momentum dito si Kids, pag meron na momentum dito si Paul, pag meron na momentum dito yung si Tetsu. It's kind of hard to stop, no? Kasi you're kind of expecting, especially pag nasa depensa kayo na, oh, they're gonna pop out at any corner, at any moment, and if I don't hit this instant headshot, I'm basically a done guy. So yeah, not much you can do at this point. I mean, kung CMG kayo, I think you just stay focused dito sa compound and make sure you get container mid. If you don't get container mid, then that's gonna be a done deal. dito sa laruan natin. But still, fortunately para dito sa CMG, there is still a whole lot of maps to be played. And pag nakuha nga nila dito yung map 2, there is still sub-base to be played, which in my opinion, especially with the pace that Vanguard's playing at, sub-base could be a very dangerous map para sa kanila dito. And it kind of rewards yung mga teams that do like the more passive way of things, considering the rotations between yung mga sides natin are very short, assuming you have second mid control. So, yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. But Compound's going to be up next, of course. We're going to have the set summary in just a bit, guys, and some highlights of what just happened in this 35-minute game, man. 35 minutes.
35.
That's a speed run, pare.
That's a speed run, and we almost went to overtime at that point, right? So it's not because Vanguard slapped CMG around, but it's more like, god dang, dude, that's just how fast all the rounds went.
Yeah, I mean, just ran it down. I mean, not much I can say. I feel like yung dalawang sides or dalawang teams natin dito, they're willing to run it down for the sake of the game. And CMG is usually used to yung pace na yun, pero not against Vanguard, man. Not against Vanguard. I feel like if you really want to beat itong Vanguard, you have to make it a very slow game, because those boys, they hate slow games, and they get very antsy. Napapansin natin yun from some of the other players. Napansin ko rin yun from their Ankara game yesterday, where CLD got punished for overpeaking sa market, 1 minute left on the clock. So if you kind of slow it down and kind of force yung Vanguard to start checking for information, and gusto mo mapunish sila at that pace, then ayun nga, that could be the key to winning. But you also have to hit the shot at the end of the day. Yeah, I mean, excited for Compound, man. At all honesty, I think BL start para sa side ng Vanguard dito once again. GR is gonna be on the side of CMG. And CMG, you better bring your best defense dito sa map number 2, or else risk another game that's gonna go exactly like this.
Yeah, there's a lot of adjustments that have to be done. But I mean, to be fair, right? CMG, they did put up a good fight for this map. It's just that, it didn't work out. It always does come down to the shots, but on the day, in the server, in that round, right, the decision making from CMG is great. Sometimes it just comes down to kids or Tetsu hitting some insane shots, for lack of a better way of saying things, right? Because I don't want to discredit as well, because CMG, they're a very smart team. Right, they know how to play the map. They know how to push and pull rotations, but I think maybe the sheer firepower, right, on top of the calling from Vanguard, is what has converted more rounds than lost.
Yeah, I mean, look at the scoreboard, man. Granted, Kids, I feel like I know why. Kids is bottom fragging para dito sa Vanguard. Shout out to Tetsu for this, man. I think may nag-post siya kanina. He's like, can someone wake up, kids, please? We have 1 hour before the game, pare. And I think he's still feeling a bit sleepy, pero buti na lang yung mga ibang players dito sa Vanguard are pretty much on
They're
fire.
awake. Yeah.
Oh my God, Aiden just BN'd me. Shout out. Alright, shout out to you, Aiden, even though you're playing right now. 1.1 kills per round, man, para kay Aiden, Tetsu with 1.06, CLD and Folex rounding out yung roster natin. But, I mean, despite yung scoreline dito ng Chulanga, in my opinion, I think Charles played really well sa game na to, man. I feel like he played miles away from yesterday, pare. And if he does continue yung ganitong laruan niya, this is definitely gonna be a big benefit para sa kanya dito. EV playing an amazing game. I mean, Zed and Ajax kind of falling a bit behind, because I feel like itong si Ajax is getting specifically targeted dito ng Vanguard to kind of take it down early. Kasi, you really want to freeze itong si Ajax, man. If you don't freeze itong si Ajax, he's gonna start heating up a bit on the sniper, and it doesn't take too much para mag-heat up dito si Ajax, right? He could be 0-7 dito sa game natin, and he starts hitting a 3K in one round, and he's gonna have his confidence back dito sa laruan natin. So, yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see kung makikita ba natin yung Ajax from yesterday. I mean, Game 2 and Game 3 Ajax is a very, very scary fact.
Yeah. They're gonna have to freeze him, man. Put him into a cryo chamber, whatever you want to call it, because man, when Ajax gets that momentum, he's a scary, scary beast. The way that he played yesterday, after that first map, right? In fact, it wasn't even after the first map. Halfway through map number 1, Ajax woke up, and things started looking dicey for HGT. Luckily, HGT they did convert that map, but the problem was they weren't able to keep up with the pace that Ajax was playing in map 2 and map 3. So I'm looking forward to this sniper versus sniper matchup again.
Mm.
Now that we're seeing Ajax kind of warming up, and once he starts
Yeah.
frying up against Tetsu, right, who is arguably one of the fastest moving guys around there, I would
Yeah.
not be surprised if we get a banger series here.
Especially with yung pacing na makikita natin dito sa compound, I feel like yung sniper has got to be one of the more important roles dito sa dito sa compound na specifically, no, because that's kind of like the base on some of the defenses sa ibang sides of the map, whether or not we're talking about A, whether or not we're talking about B. And speaking of compound, we're just gonna jump straight into it, and Vanguard instantly occupying itong storage A, and I feel like they just want to go for a fast A execute. Aiden, of course, gonna be all the way behind dito sa container mid, just in case CMG wants to go for anything.
It's gonna be the same thing though. C4 is in the hands of Aiden, so that first point of contact from VG should be pulling that rotation, right? Knowing that there's no early aggression coming from CMG, there's now confidence for Aiden to pick up that C4 and go the other way. But this 4-man death wall coming your way for CMG is not going to be a fun experience. Knowing that, we've seen Alex, we've seen Tetsu open things up, and there you go again. Tetsu, first kill, now going to be on the board. ED answers back almost immediately. And now the bomb's already down. What in the world? How does this happen? But kids now fighting it off here. 3v3, knowing that each of them a little bit low on the side of CMG. It's going to be a hard retake, knowing that there's not much utility in their way. Trying to spam one through that smoke. CLD and Aiden are going to be able to catch a couple of people. Now said, 1v2, switched over into the pistol, trying to get that connection. Not going to find anything. Vanguard off of an awkwardly timed round, right?
Yeah,
Where you
pansin
got
mo
a
rin,
couple of kills, nothing much, and then the
Yeah.
bomb was down.
pansin mo rin, it's still the exact same pace na pinakita ng Vanguard. They just kind of stopped a bit kasi yun nga, the C4 is all the way on the backside of spawn. And inantay lang nila si Aiden dito. Not much you can do about that, in all honesty, especially when you're Ajax, the only second floor player dito sa A side. And you just got instantly taken out by Tetsu with that entry frag on the sniper. So, fortunately for Vanguard, they do have that first shot going. Feeling ko pag hindi nila nakuha si Ajax doon, they would be absolutely sprayed down on a choke point. So, 1-0 once again. Vanguard with a great start on compound, and especially every single round that you get pagdating nga dito sa BL side natin. Yeah, it's very important, man.
Change in pace again, Vanguard. Looking for, I think, like the attempt here, the double stack up towards long B. I think the idea was to see if whether or not anyone from CMG would be pushing out early. And it's the same thing, right? After lack of presence from CMG, they're gonna decide eventually which way to go. And it looks like it might be this first to push through mid. Tetsu has his eyes trained on curve, seeing if there's gonna be any kind of resistance from CMG. But right now, they're essentially giving away the map, right? Knowing that there's only 55 seconds left on that round, CMG should be getting antsy now. Because knowing that how VG play, once they start moving, it's going to be hard to make him stop.
Yep. And I think with the smokes, I think they're gonna try to get curve control. And some international teams, ginagawa nila dito is they take curve control and they either go B, straight into B side, just like how VG did, or they go to the A side. Kids is gonna get X3T.
What?
How is Silent dead? What was that shot by
Folex, what?
Folex, bro? That was insane. The instant check.
That's the literal drive-by you saw it on the screen. But Ajax, it's that kill
Wow.
over onto this
Alright.
way. Couple of kills for CMG, but now the retake should be coming in. They're going to be playing inside of batteries and just outside that door. It's going to be a hard way
Alright,
inside
it's
for
winnable.
Charles EV. It's down CLD. The answer
Uh,
back coming from Vanguard is going to be immediate and deadly. Second round for Vanguard.
That was just insane. Parang head on a swivel. Parang dito kay Folex, man. Imagine being silent
I don't know
holding yung
how we
angle na yun.
didn't
It's like,
die.
imagine being silent holding yung angle na yun. It's like, I got this, guys. boom, you just get shot in the head. What is going on, man? What can you do
That
about
was
it?
in the air.
Oh, actually, he's dead. Yep, this is gonna be a B take. Pero knowing Vanguard, they are not gonna go straight into B site. Going into B site straight dito sa compound is very dangerous, especially with how quick yung mga GR players natin can rotate. CLD not
Silent?
checking right. Alright, TVT, I mean, it is winnable from this point. Low pa naman, half HP dito si Kids. Yeah.
Is it weird that there's some presence here in mid, knowing that someone fell? CLD. Unfortunately caught on a bad timing. And inside a battery is going to be
Why?
nothing here. Aiden
Why
and Tetsu.
silent?
It's just that fast. EV's left alone.
I don't get it. I mean, Kids, gonna get taken down. Di nila chinek yung batteries dito. But lots of pressure para dito kay EV. And I like what Tetsu's doing. He's waiting for his homie to come from storage B. But it's already a bit too late. Pero walang bala dito si EV, of course. And 3-0 para dito sa Vanguard in the compound map. And it was a good attempt galing sa side ng CMG. I saw what Silent was trying to do by clearing itong tower. I think that kind of eliminates the threat of coming in from the mid side. Kailangan nilang isipin yung mga B players and storage B. But unfortunately, it didn't hit the shot, man. I'm telling you, kailangan mo muna tamaan. I mean, CMG is doing a lot of smart things, but the shots are not hitting para sa kanila dito.
Yeah. You said it again earlier. I mean, sometimes it just comes down to the shots. Even though CMG, they're such a smart team. So they need to, sometimes, right? You can't counter-stress a shooter like Tetsu. And now Eevee's down already. Charles, though, he left unchecked and Silent as
All right,
well.
guys.
This two-man tandem fighting back. But now, it's going to be a 2v2. They know exactly where the last two members of CMG are. And now Tetsu eliminates the one that is on site. Point of interest for them. And Ajax, they have to play out here and not going to be able to find anything. Vanguard on a roll.
Yeah. Tetsu being a bit selfish that time, pare. He's like, you guys go in, naman. I'm going a bit late. I'm gonna get this 2K, and let's see what happens. But what can you do about that at this point? EV getting punished. Habang nagja-jump spot siya dito sa may exit area natin, there's a bit of a jump spot that you can do there while you're crouched to try and see if you can, gain information against any players of Vanguard. But then I don't know how he got punished in that exact spot. Pero I guess Tetsu maybe drinking one too many coffees just like me at the moment. So, I mean, reaction time on point. Not much I can say about it, pare.
Yeah. It's going to be the same idea from Vanguard again. Like, check out mid, see whether or not there's someone hiding behind Curve, which is, it has seemed to be a point of contention for CMG, right? Where they situate a couple of players along this part and usually does get a kill, but it doesn't work out this time. There's no one here. Vanguard have chosen the right round to push out through Curve. Now, make their way towards B side. CLD, he finds Silent on the timing on the other side of that smoke here, but the play is still gonna be under contention. A couple of kills now coming in for Vanguard still. And CMG, they're getting put in the meat grinder, man. Ajax, what do you do? Again, it's a 1v4, and even with that sniper, he's gonna have to try. Kids, now down to second.
Tetsu, what are you
taken
doing,
down
bro?
as well. Out in the air, actually. And now Aiden and Volex, they're so low here. The problem is, right? Ajax, he's so low as well, and he only has the sniper. He's gonna be in a pretty bad spot.
Tetsu try not to push challenge. Impossible. Yeah, 15 seconds. There's player in Z. Volex is gonna take him down. And ito yung sinasabi ko, yung duality ng Curve it is actually, ay naalala ko na, it was actually Vasco yung nagpauso nito in the Summer Championships where they take mid control, they take Curve control. The dangerous thing about Curve is you can either go B and or straight into CR papunta ka dito sa site natin. Aiden, Volex.
What?
Getting to instantly in mid. And this is what happens when you try and joust with Vanguard dito sa may container mid natin and the only person defending A site is stuck on long.
Yeah, Vanguard is not the kind of team you want to go head-to-head to when it comes to pure gunfight. And against CLD, good lord. The timings that he gets here on the map is insane. And now there's only two people. Again, right? When can you miss it? Now, answering back, CMG. Bring them in the blender, but now it's gonna be a 1v2.
Oh, Zed
Zed
spotted.
only with nothing actually. Tried to do something, but there was just way too many people. Again, Vanguard throwing that wall of flesh at CMG, and they can't stop it.
Yeah, and the fact that it takes one round to stop itong Vanguard from doing this exact thing, the round hasn't come yet. So they're just gonna keep doing whatever they're doing dito sa round na to. And as soon as they lose one round, they're gonna start actually calling. So,
I mean,
it's
if
working.
it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's true.
Tale as old as time right now. It's 6-bit. No, Zed! Oh, God.
Oh,
The
God.
overheat, the overextension right into kids of all people, right? Maybe if it was CLD, it'd be a different
Oh,
story. But now
God.
it's, again, it's
Oh,
kids.
Jesus.
This
I mean, you
guy is wide awake.
You can
asked
smell
for him
yung
to wake up, right?
desperation, man. You can just smell the desperation dito sa side of CNG. There we go. That's more
Oh!
like it, pare.
I like this. A double peek out through mid. Now Folex on with Tetsu. Waiting for the first point of contact here. It's going to be a Mexican standoff. You can see the off angle that they do have here. Charles over towards the left. Pulling it off towards A. And Folex. So patient. Tetsu waits for the right time. And it's insane. The double push from CMG gets punished immediately.
Grabe. It's like VG has somewhere to go right after this. I don't know, maybe it's Samyup Day? Not so sure. It is a Sunday, pare.
I'd like some hot pot after the rainy days in QC.
Oh, there you go. Tetsu with his fourth attempt dun sa exact shot na yun, finally hits it.
Finally hits the trick shot.
Oh, yeah.
Ejects,
Ejects.
ejects. Doesn't
Like
get
how-
away with much.
Yeah, Paul just ignores it, man. He's like, hey, you got the trade? Alright, I'm gonna get this guy. And then we go into B
no.
site. Charles is still there. Nakita yung ulo niya. Nakita yung ulo niya dito sa may
Wait, wait.
baterya. Yun na nga. He is not ever ready, my friend. Not like this.
Oh, good lord. This round can be summed down into one singular thing, and that is awkward timings of the CMG. And now EV, there is a chance. Never mind, the chance is gone. He just gets taken down quickly. Water down like a fly. It's another round for Vanguard. It looks like they do not want to stop anytime soon. They're one round away from map point.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I said yesterday, right? The reason why VG picked yung mapa na to is because they know
Oh,
CNG
God.
is not too good on this map, especially against the games yesterday
Oh,
on
EV?
HCT. Pero EV going a bit
Oh!
crazy! 4K sa LB, inubos ang Vanguard. Nako po, CLD na lang natitira. What can Jamero do?
What can you do? You're gonna have to isolate the fights. EV, Muzzle Flash on the other side
Oh,
of
he's
the smoke,
hurt.
but there's too many people on the other side of this. You have to check out each angle. Too many angles to check. In fact, if Charles does get spotted out, not much, but he's down to about 20 HP. There's still so much time here, so he can definitely run the clock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, too many targets, man.
Yeah.
There we go, 8-1. That's not too bad, in all honesty. I mean, just like how I said it, man. CMG, their compound got targeted because of yesterday's games, and it is what it is. It is what it is. CMG.
It is
I
what
mean,
it
I
is.
feel like CMG, they do have a better shot against itong Execration and or HGT if ever the rematch does happen. Pero malalaman ba natin yan in just a bit, of course. But
And it's
Vanguard,
not
man,
over
this
yet.
big of a lead, man, sa CP.
Yeah, it's
This
gonna
is
be a hard
crazy.
one, man. We're gonna have to take it round by round, reset every time, and one mistake, right? There's no room for error. So they have to be careful. So Silent, first contact here, trying to find something on Tetsu, who's on the other side of this angle. Smokes out, not gonna be willing to give him that long angle to hold on with the sniper, which is a good take from CMG, and it does also keep Vanguard at bay. They're not gonna be willing to push through that smoke. He will respect it, at least for now, knowing that they are on GR side. But so much time, right? You've seen CMG. Once the clock gets run down, then they become problematic. They start falling to the pressure. So they have to find a real game plan right now. And that plan seems to be this three-man push over towards A. Looking if they can find any kind of presence coming in from Vanguard, knowing that they do push out a little early. Because of that, they have to check every angle. Again, even these off-angle boxes that on the off chance that there's someone inside, they need to do their due diligence. And Aiden, I think, has been spotted out here. The creepy
No, wait, didn't die.
crawlies
What?
that they have all over the map, CMG. The patience on this team might punish them, but they do get Tetsu first on the other side of the map. I don't know if this is going to be able to pull the rotations from Vanguard, knowing that they do have the confidence to hold on, even if there is one man down on the team. And the smoke out here from Kids and Aiden, rather, is great. Now Silent. Down at the hands of this man. Aiden checks out the other side. Now the kills racking up again. CMG losing hope. One man left in a 1v2. And it's 1v1. Fall X and Ajax holding on to the last slot. If Vanguard win this, it's gonna be it for them in the play-ins. They will make it in through that group stage. But Ajax, Aiden attempts cannot convert. That's Vanguard finalizing and booking their ticket into the group stage.
Hey, this could be it, man. One more round. CMG down in the dirt, brother.
And if there was a round, that should have been the round.
Two taps in a spray, man. That's impossible to not hit. That is impossible to not hit. That is for sure. Mid control. Tetsu's already in tower. Yun na nga. Kids is gonna get said.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Back here. Tetsu missed the shot. The worst possible time here, knowing that it's the last round. He has to back off. And here, CLD bails him out of that dangerous situation. It's going to be a 3v3, holding it off. Tetsu again with a connection. CMG, what do you do? The C4 is in no man's land. They're going to try and turn this into a team deathmatch. Ajax takes down CLD. Tetsu answering back silent.
Left. They know exactly
with 10
where he is
HP. The hopes and dreams of getting that early slot into the group stages in his hands will fall, and that's it. We have finalized our first ticket into the group stage.
Well, we're ahead of schedule. That's
we are. Very
that's a good
ahead
thing.
of schedule.
That's a good thing. I mean, just like how I said it, man. I feel like the system talaga for Vanguard, them playing at this pace. And I'm so excited to see them sa regionals, honestly. I mean, they're gonna provide a breath of fresh air para sa mga teams natin who do like to play it a bit more slow. And having a psycho IGL kagaya nga dito ni Tetsu is definitely gonna be a great thing to have pagdating dito sa ating top 8. So, yun nga, once again, Aiden PMing me while he was dead in that round. Sabi niya, pa-shoutout po. So, shoutout kay Hang Sino Bumuse naman. So, ayun nga, GG's towards the boys over at the side of Vanguard. A pretty quick one, in all honesty. It's, I think they're gonna have somewhere to go after this one kasi ganun talaga kabilis yung laruan nila. So, we're gonna have to wait and see if... we're gonna have to wait and see if they're gonna be celebrating right after this. But that was a very quick one, man. I mean, nag-start tayo ng 2:10 p.m. and we ended this at 3:06. Less than an hour series, best of 3. So, if I was CMG here, man, I'm just gonna be like, guys, we need to lock in para dito sa lower bracket. This is the last chance that we can qualify para dito sa ating regionals. And, gonna be a very, very interesting regional final, man. I wanna see yung highlights dito. I don't know who's the MVP at this point. I feel like it could be Tetsu again. Personal MVP natin. Could be si Tetsu. I mean, Aiden played really well. 2 games. So I feel like I give it to Aiden. I feel like I'll give it to Aiden this time. Ayun nga. Sorry, Paul. Like, as much as you do get every MVP dun sa last tournament natin on Impact, we get to say this time and we can see the impact. But Paul, man, he played really well dun sa compound as well. I think he kind of fell behind nung map number 1. But it's not really his fault. In all honesty, I feel like everyone was just playing insane dun sa laruan na yun. So, congratulations, Aiden. You get the MVP, unofficial MVP from the
us,
casters. Yep. Yeah, from the casters. But, I mean, things to take away para dito sa side ng CMG. I think Silent is playing really well dun sa compound despite, the role na nangyari nga dito. Said, hit some shots. Ajax was starting to heat up, man. Pero, I think the exact reason why they played at this pace dito sa compound is they don't want to deal with Ajax finally hitting shots on the sniper. So, ayun nga, dire-diretso lang talaga sila with the pacing. Especially, they could not control itong container mid. They could not take it away from the hands of Vanguard, especially in LB side as well, man. I mean, Tetsu missed 4 times dun sa pillar player, and
And when he
he still
finally hit
decided to
it,
go straight to.
man,
He finally hit it, man. He was like, yes, we can go B. Pwede na natin takbuhin to. And like, yeah. I mean, another very well executed round galing sa kanila dito was with the way that they took curve and then detoured papunta nga dito sa A site. That's something that I did mention that Imperial did dito sa CFS, or not Imperial, Vasco did dun nga sa CFS Summer Championship. They just did it with Pinoy pace, and it looked absolutely crispy para sa kanila dito. But CMG versus Execration slash HGT winner later.
Yep.
That's gonna be a pretty good series. In all honesty, I think Execration medyo parang they're reeling para bumawi dito sa ating regional finals, and especially getting top 8 would be very huge for them. Para naman sa HGT, could be the second team coming in from Impact, potentially coming in to get some wins against these regional teams, man. But there is still CMG as the final bastion ng Masters dito. So, yeah, I mean, so far 1-0 for the Impact teams at the moment, and that's what I'm saying, man. Impact has been really good for our scene, giving spotlight sa mga ibang players who did not qualify for Masters but are good enough for the Impact tournament. So, yeah, it's very nice to see yung mga teams na, finally reaping what they're sowing from that last tournament, pare.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to this invigorated CMG. Right? They're not as they didn't get that pickup as fast as we wanted them to, but they kept it close. Unfortunately, when it came to map number 2, it went sideways. So they do have a little bit of time to reset before the decider between HGT and Execration happens and ends. So they will have a little bit of an advantage because they do have that little rest time that they do have during that second best of 3 series we have today.
Yeah. I wonder what's gonna happen later now. I feel like Execration, yeah, they're gonna try and gain some redemption later. I would have, not gonna lie, I would have wished we went 3 maps sa series na to. I really wanted to see how Vanguard would deal with yung sub base, especially historically yung mga Cebuano teams natin are really good on that specific map, and both teams really good on the counterplay side. So yeah, I mean, once again, Vanguard with another dub with another dub on the board para sa kanila dito. Overall outlook para dito sa Vanguard in the regional finals, I think they're gonna do really well against yung mga ibang teams. I think they can definitely deal with Sunday Shrooms. They can definitely deal with some spots over at Gaon. I think mostly the struggle is probably gonna come from yung top 4 teams natin. I think back then SGJ, especially SGJ, I think SGJ is definitely gonna give them a hard time. Kasi, ayun nga, no, Tino's brain, man, he's a human counter. I mean, granted, a lot of people are giving him some hate because, he couldn't hit some shots with the sniper, but he's still a pretty big brain that you have to deal with, and you have to deal with 4 mechanical monsters on that squad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in all honesty, overall, I like their outlook papunta nga dito sa regional finals. And once again, guys, there's only 2 slots para sa Pilipinas for CFS 2024. So, it's gonna be a battle royale para kunin yung dalawang slots na yan, man.
Yeah, very very tight competition, and man, I'm so looking forward to the actual group stages. Right? I mean, we're getting bangers in the play-ins, man.
Mm-hmm.
What more when we get to when we get to the group stages? When we see this round robin format, who's gonna go up against who? We'll see whether or not Vanguard has evolved from their form, which dropped them down into play-ins. Now they've earned their spot again. Right, they're gonna be hungry with this new reinvigorated roster as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was actually looking up sa Wikipedia at the moment. Speaking of SGJ, man, happy birthday, Yobib. Happy 19th birthday, my friend.
Oh yeah,
this kid is 19.
I will not speak of my own age.
Yeah, happy birthday, Leo. Hope you are having a good one. Happy birthday rin kay Viana One, the legend from Brazil. And yeah, I'm just looking at yung how the rest of the play-ins is gonna look like. Yeah, it's pretty much what we expect, in all honesty. Group stage is gonna be a very long process, man. Like, if you guys saw the schedule,
If you were
I
paying
felt the
attention to when we
I
were
felt
talking
the
about the
I felt the
schedule.
collective groan ng ng talents and the other boys in production. But I mean, you have to have a long process, man, kasi this is for the biggest tournament of the year, for the best of the best, and especially the best of the best pa yung mga kalaban nyo dito. But we do have the highlights on our screen, and it's mostly BG, man.
It is mostly BG. I think most of the rounds from CMG, again, they didn't really do much highlight plays because they're not insane shooters like I said of VG, right? But the respect for CMG has to still be there because they're such a smart team, right? Even if you're outgunned, out aggressived, that's not a word, but you get what I mean. They can still convert the rounds, and
Yeah,
that's where the real power of CMG comes from.
and there we go. We do see Aiden popping the hell off. Yeah, Aiden is definitely yung MVP. That's for sure, man. I mean, 2 point KD for two
My
games straight.
lord.
I don't know what Heise is on, pare, but this I feel like he got a good pump into gym. And you already know when you get a good pump into gym, your aim is gonna be absolutely crisp. And I think Josh can definitely, you know, vouch about that, pare. Kids, this kid, man. Kid is like, yeah, I'm gonna take a backseat muna, guys. I'm still sleepy. I'm
Yeah,
still a
you
bit
guys don't
sleepy.
need me. He's like, hey, you know what? I'll make up for it in the group stage.
Yeah, the group stage na daw siya papakita. But Chulanga, man, just like how I said at EV, he played super well dito series na to despite all the score lines that we have seen. Charles played amazing despite the AP being a bit low silent, of course. So we do expect this big three to perform later. See Charles, EV at si silent. You know, Ajax, now he has a game. You know, kind of maybe feel a bit warm and try and see if he can do it. Pero Ankara is going to be 10 and 8. Compound is going to be 10 and 1. Most reason why it is 10 and 8, and I think alam to ni Buko, no? Yung clan master namin for the side of Vanguard. Uh, Vanguard they like to troll, man. Sometimes they do a little too much trolling and they lose on their best map at times. But Chulanga, in all honesty, tama yung ginawa nila dun sa ating Ankara map where yun na sinasalo nila yung mga ibang kalokohan na ginagawa dito ng Vanguard. So, you know, they almost had it, but then, ayun nga, no, Vanguard, they decided to play passive dun sa last round natin. And, yeah, it wasn't too much of a problem, man. Just like how I said it, they played the B-site retake to perfection. Nawala kayo ng control dito sa B-site. How do you respond? You don't fight into B-site. Exactly, no. What you do is, you take that second mid control, make sure you take away Hotel, galing sa side ng CMG, and you have 2 points of entry going into the site. So, yeah, it's very well played, honestly. Galing sa side ng Vanguard dito, the way that they play their pace, the way that they play for map control, and the way that they hit their shots today, grabe, it's on another level, man.
Yeah. With that being said, though, that was a pretty quick 2-0 series. Congratulations to Vanguard booking your slot into the group stage, as we do have two more series today to decide our last group stage slot. So we're going to be going to a quick break. It's me, just Suave, here with Sneaky Frog. When we're back, it's going to be that lower bracket run coming in from HGT and Execration. See you in a bit.